Ja men hallå där, nu ska ni få träffa en biltok av rang som inte bara har utan bygger helt vansinniga bilar. Han har alltid varit biltokig och sen så tog han en liten sväng och startade ett tv-spelsbolag som gick jäkligt bra. Och nu kan han bygga vilka bilar som helst och det gör han. Ja, ni ser ju GT40, Mustang, Lambo, Ultima, det här är någonting alldeles extra. We're in an amazing place, obviously, with amazing cars. So I figured to the Swedish audience, you have to, we hear a bunch of Swedes just all being in awe of all your cars. But an introduction, who are you and what is this?
Yeah, so my name's Chris Ashton, and I grew up drawing cars and being around cars, working on cars, but also video games. So my career was all video games until about 3 years ago. I started my own shop, and then now I'm doing cars and video games now. So this is my personal collection of the cars currently. And then the 64 Galaxy is the first car that my team built as a shop car.
Okay.
So
I'm going to ask you all about the cars, but but you sold your company, right?
I did.
Yeah. And then you sort of spent more time with the cars anyway, even if you still.
Yes.
So, but where do you come from car-wise? Because what I see here is a very eclectic mix of brands and styles and everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I just loved anything that's cool, anything that's fast. It doesn't matter, what brand it is or where it comes from. But I grew up reading Hot Rod magazine, and really primarily what I know really well is muscle cars. So that's what I've tend to build and tend to do myself. I'm happy to collect and drive other things, but as far as what I feel like I know well enough to build, that's 60s, 70s era American muscle. So that's why you'll see like this 70 Mustang is the first car that I ever built where I built the whole thing. It wasn't just bolting on new exhaust or changing the carburetor. It was like disassemble it to a shell and rebuild it the way I wanted to build it.
Okay, so since this is the first car and the Ford is the last car, sort of the first in the new era, why don't you tell me, what's the recipe for this Mustang?
So the idea, the 6970 was always my favorite body style of the Mustangs, but I really like racing. And so I really got into reading about Bud Moore and Trans Am racing back in the 6970 with the Boss 302 and stuff like that. So I really like the look of those race cars, and but I'm not primarily a race driver. Race tracks are kind of far from here, so my whole thing with this was build a car inspired by Trans Am racing that I can drive on the street, that's street legal.
And you did, I love the fenders and everything. And what about drivetrain? It says Boss 427. So is it an all, original iron engine or?
So I was just having fun with it. It is so I built this car on my own in my 2-car garage in my spare time, evenings and weekends over the course of 3 years. I was working on a budget, and I wanted to make as fast of a car as I could for the smallest amount of money that I could. So it has an LS3 in it that is 427 cubic inches. Ooh. And I went that direction because it's light. I didn't have to cut the shock towers, so it was less work, and it makes a lot of power at the time it was a $10,000 crate engine for 625 horsepower. So it worked, so it's got a 6-speed in it and a solid rear axle in the rear, but it's a 3-link Watts link suspension, the way that they used to, all the old Trans Am, 6970 Trans Am race cars were Watts link.
But it's an amazing build if you build it yourself. What about the body? Do you work with glass fiber or only metal?
It's all steel. So I bought an English wheel and a planishing hammer, and I annoyed my neighbors with so much noise. But I shaped the fenders myself, and the fender vents and the side scoops. All that stuff's all handmade sheet metal.
Wow, I'm really impressed. I don't know if you heard about PAG. Have you seen the car he built? Well, he built a couple. Have you seen his
I've seen
wind
some
wiper?
photos, yeah.
Yeah, he annoys his neighbors too with a hammer.
Yeah.
I should say.
I'm not in this level.
Oh, you are. Come on. But still, it's a beautiful car. So how is it to drive it?
It's super good, yeah. It's been a rock. I mean, I've had it since 2019. I finished it. I autocross it with SCCA and smaller organizations. Drive it on the street. I've done videos. I've done a lot of burnouts. Like, it's just, it's simple. And so I think that helps the reliability, but drives great, runs hard.
It's perfect. But let's go to the latest work from your fantasy and wishes and the guys that you work with.
Yeah.
So what's the recipe on this Galaxy?
Yeah, so I built my Mustang and the GT40, and I asked my dad, you know, he's always been a car guy in my life and helped me out when I'm working on cars and stuff. So I said, hey, Dad, what if you were going to build something, like, what would your dream car be? And he said, well, I always had a thing for 64 Galaxies. And I was like, okay. So that set me on the 64 Galaxy path. But when it came to a theme, I was having a hard time. There isn't really like aftermarket, like high performance chassis bits and stuff for old Galaxies. It's just not what they were really meant to do. But I watched Goodwood racing, and I saw these big Galaxies racing European cars, you know, and the Galaxies are huge, and they got this big American V8, and they're racing with tiny European cars, and there's just something really, really cool and special about that. And I was like, that's what I want to build. I want to build something inspired by that. So the 64 Galaxy, it's a little bit wild. We wanted to, as the first car that our shop was building, so we wanted to get noticed and be memorable. So we went with a battleship camo scheme. But like the race cars that we're running at Goodwood, it does have a 427 FE big block Ford engine with a carburetor. Makes about 700 horsepower, 6-speed transmission in it. The transmission, you don't have to use the clutch through first through fourth gear.
Ooh.
So it's very race car.
So what kind of turning is that? Is it a Termic or?
Inside, it's a T56, but it has a G-force gear set in it. So it's got dog ring gears in it. So yeah, you don't have to, you just lift the throttle a little bit and then you can shift into the next gear.
I have to say, I mean, it's utilitarian. It looks like, okay, this is a race car, but it's like a show car that you can use. I love that.
Yeah, it's they are all built for performance first, but then we wind up making them so nice that we were able to take them to car shows and people appreciate them still there, but they were all meant to be driven and driven hard.
Okay, but unless you slit the body lengthwise and widened it, it's not, you don't have any fenders on it. So did you go inwards when it came to?
Yeah, so funny enough, Ron Sutton designed the chassis for us, and he builds these chassis for all different kinds of cars, but his standard width for a race car fits inside of the Galaxy body. So we didn't have to widen the body in order to fit the...
And I was going, so where do you have the exhaust? Is this it?
Yes.
That's so cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so we were trying, because it's got a very complicated suspension setup, and we weren't able to route the exhaust over the rear axle and back down, and so we were having difficulties figuring out where to route it, and this was just a solution for us. We could get it over the axle but not back down, so we just kept going.
Oh, that's great. Lots of construction and design through the decades are like that. Why is it like that? Well, it has to work, so
right.
It's beautiful. So have you taken it to the track yet, or is it?
Just local autocross events and street driving. I mean, it's my favorite thing to do is take a car that's super rowdy, made for the racetrack, and drive it on the road. I don't know why, but doing what it shouldn't be doing makes me happy. So
Okay, and you know, now we have like two really high-end. I mean, both these cars can go to any show and they will win prizes, and obviously you can win races with them as well. This one,
yeah.
it's not so much a show car, but it
No.
seems to be something interesting under the hood anyway.
Yeah, so this, when I was building this 70 Mustang, I would turn on the television at night and I would work with some sort of Motor Trend or something on television. And I watched Gas Monkey Garage and I watched them build this car and race it against the Roadkill guys. So it's a car that was on, actually I saw the episode when I was building this car. So it was kind of special in that it showed up on eBay much later, years and years later. And I bought it off of eBay. I get into drag racing, I think it's super cool. I've never built a drag car, mine are about road racing. But this is a drag car they built for the 8th mile, and then the only thing we did was make it streetable. So we put a bigger radiator in it, a bigger fuel cell in it, made it street legal, so we could put full exhaust on it, so we could drive it around town.
Oh, it's a very cool car. But well, and then I built the GT40, and then we went on to the Ford. So let's stick with this one. So this was obviously after the Mustang, right?
It was after the Mustang. I ordered the GT40 from Superformance. It's a kit car. I ordered it while I was working on the Mustang. And the plan was just to put a motor and transaxle in it so I didn't have to pay somebody else to do it. And then that's it, just drive it around. Because they come from Superformance, painted and wired, and all you have to do is put a motor and transmission.
They're right over here, right?
They're in Irvine, yeah. So, but then when this showed up, I had just finished the Mustang, and I think I was still in that mode of what would I want it to be. And I didn't like the headlights, I didn't like the taillights, and so I started toying around with the idea of customizing it and building kind of my own version of the GT40. And we wound up doing a wide body kit for it. These are carbon fenders, nose piece, side skirts. The headlights are custom. I built those on the computer, 3D printed those. These are the first equal length headers that I ever built.
Wow. So did you design them in the computer as well, or?
I did it with plastic snap together pieces.
No. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're equal length 180 degree headers.
I've never seen anything like it. They're beautiful. I mean, I would like to have that as a coffee table or something. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And what Ford engine is
This is a 5.2 liter. It's the XS. So it's a crate engine from Ford. Makes 580 horsepower, and it'll rev up to 8,000 RPM. So it's a good match for. It doesn't make a ton of torque, but it makes good power, and it revs high, which is a good match. This car only weighs 2,400 pounds, so it's a good match for it.
But I mean, it's drive-wise, it's a whole different thing to drive rear-wheel drive, but like a mid-engine compared to the two other huge engine cars. So how would you describe the feeling of driving it?
The nose is very light, and you're very far forward. So it definitely has a different feel to it, but the traction is the big thing, just massive amounts of traction. So even though it's underpowered compared to the other two cars, I mean, it's lighter, and also it puts the power down. So
you guess on the track, if you would bet on one of these three cars?
Actually, on a full big track, the Galaxy for sure. I mean, the chassis under that car, even though it's 4,000 pounds, but that entire chassis is a real race car chassis. So, I mean, everything's Heim jointed. It's designed it's 50-50 weight balance. Like, it's set up very, very proper.
So, have you had the review from your dad on the car?
You know, I think he expected it to be a lot more street car and a lot sort of more traditional. So that I think a lot of stuff was a challenge for him to understand. Like I sent him early on a picture of the seats, what I was going to do. One seat that was yellow and one seat that was black, and he just couldn't wrap his brain around it. But when he showed up to SEMA, he showed up with 2 gray tennis shoes, and one set of shoes had black laces and the other set had yellow laces. So I took that as confirmation that he understood and appreciated what we did.
Oh, well, he must have. I'll talk to him otherwise. But and along this wall, I mean, are these like parts of your collection?
Yeah.
Or did you build anything on? So this is an Alpine?
Yeah. This is actually a Dean Alpine, so it's the Mexico version.
Okay.
It's just a cool little car that they didn't import him into the U.S. I think it's a super cool little car. It's fun to drive. Very few around, and it showed up on Bring a Trailer, and I did the crazy thing and I bid on it and got it. So.
Okay. And Cobras, my viewers have been saying, stop whining, because I've seen so many Cobras the last month at all the car shows.
Right.
And they're all beautiful and exuberant, and you can't even but what is this? What kind of?
So this is a Shelby continuation car, but specifically it's a replica of the FIA Cobras, which are the ones that Shelby took to compete in like the British road racing championships and that sort of thing. So they're not, this predates the wide body 427s that are the most famous.
Yeah.
So what I liked about this car is that it's the most race car of the continuation models. It actually has the twin beam chassis, so it is a accurate replica. So it handles like the old Cobras did. So it's kind of lively underneath you. It bounces around and it's fun and it's rowdy. It's got Weber carburetors on it, so it pops on deceleration and makes a lot of cool noise.
I guess no ABS or
no nothing. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And talking about no ABS, but I guess this could have, but still, what's this?
So this is a '76 Porsche 911. It was originally built by John James Racing as a race car. John's father, built the car and raced it for a couple seasons. It got sold and changed hands a bunch of times. I bought it, but it's a '76. I couldn't get it registered in California because it had a hot motor in it. And with a wide body, I didn't want to put an 80 horsepower original motor back in it. So instead, I Tesla swapped it.
Ooh.
So this is actually electric. Has a Tesla Model S drive unit in the back. And
so it's probably quicker than any 911 ever built.
It's ridiculously fast, and the tough thing about electric conversions right now is that there's little to no support as far as like traction control and stuff like that. So it can be a real handful. Okay.
And then talking about fast cars, what is this?
This is a BAC mono. So they are obviously a single seat center position car. They're street legal, but they're really built for the racetrack. They actually have a pretty decently long and wide wheelbase. So they're kind of like full car size, but they only weigh, I think it's 1,400 pounds. It has 285 horsepower. This is an early year, 2015, I think. 285 horsepower inline 4-cylinder, Formula 2 transaxle. But their theory is everything, all the weight is inline. So the battery's up front, driver, gas tank, engine, transaxle. So there's no weight outboard on the car, hardly at all. Carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber body. It's ridiculously fast on a racetrack. It's actually hard to, I'm not used to things, turns and braking points and stuff coming at me that fast. It actually is super, super intense.
And I'm just jumping forward because there's so I guess this one does well at the track as well. I have no idea what is this.
This is a Ultima. It is, again, another British. I don't know why I wind up with a bunch of British cars, but I guess they like driving over there. So you can buy them here in the U.S. and import them as a kit car. They've been making them for a long time. Interestingly, when I was growing up, Ultimas had all of the Guinness Book of World Record for like the fastest 0 to 60, the fastest 0 to 100 and back to 0, and that sort of thing. So very performance oriented. This is the Can-Am version. Most of them have roofs, but this one is roofless. They only made it for a couple years. Has an LS7 in it, makes 700 horsepower, is scary fast.
And then, I mean, this is a Lambo. Same thing as with the Cobras. It's like, yeah, I've seen them all.
Yeah.
But this looks mean, though. STO, what is this?
Yeah, this STO was their lightweight two-wheel drive version of the, I guess the performance version of the Huracan. So it's got carbon fiber door, carbon fiber body. It's a very pared down, not very comfortable, super aggressive, but in all the reviews you see journalists and stuff drive it, and everybody talks about how fun it is to drive. Even though, maybe the all-wheel drive Performante, like I had one and it was actually, I could always get faster times at the autocross with the all-wheel drive car, but because this one slides around and it's rear-wheel drive, to me it's more fun. So the cars for me are all about emotion. How do they make me feel when I drive them? Are they exciting to me? That sort of stuff. And so even though this one's not as fast as other Lamborghinis, it's really fun. Yeah. So you can see it's really filthy. I take it out and drive it and put a lot of miles on it and have fun with it.
Yeah, well, you saw my Mercedes. I mean, it's the same thing. So, yeah. But I have a last question. Well, it's not the last question. We could talk for days, or I could talk to you. But with the GT40, I was curious. I was happy to see that you have stick in all of your cars, right?
Yeah, everything except for the quarter-mile car has a
Yeah, we can blame
power
the
glide
gas monkey guys for that. But so you have stick, but on this one you don't only have stick; it's right-hand drive. Why did you build it like that?
Actually, all the GT40s, the real race cars that ran in Le Mans, were right-hand drive because most of the turns there are right-hand turns. All right. So they did it for weight balance, weight distribution, but because they had American race car drivers driving them, you can see that the shifter is in the side still, on the right-hand side still. So it's not in the center where it would be on a normal right-hand drive car.
So you built that so it would be like the real thing.
Got to be. You might as well imagine like what it was like racing in Le Mans when you're driving this down the road, right? And that includes being on the right side of the car.
Oh, wow. Well, this is amazing. Thank you so much for taking time. Yeah. It was good meeting you.
Same.
Take care. Oh, last thing. So, I mean, now you have your shop and you're going to build more cars to spec. Do you have a new dream project?
We're always working on a few. My current favorite is a 35 Plymouth that we're building. I had bought a retired GT1 Trans Am race car, a Corvette, and I never drove it, and it sat on a rack for several years, I think 3-4 years. We bought this Plymouth. We had a Viper V10 motor that was built, and I was trying to figure out what chassis to put under the Plymouth, and we just decided to cut up the race car and put it on a race car chassis. So the cool thing about that car is the body has patina, it's all original. The chassis has patina, it's a real race car with real race car experience, and we're keeping that stuff. So it won't all be glossy and shiny and perfect like these, but it will be like a crazy fast 35 Plymouth, which would be fun.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take care.
Yeah,